2025 has been a year of seismic finds. Archaeologists, researchers, and explorers across the globe have uncovered a cache of ancient artifacts that challenge everything we thought we knew about man's history and might rewrite entire books of what we thought we knew. These are not your average old bones or battered potsherds. These are objects so confounding, so outside of their purported era, that numerous scholars are still attempting to discover where they came from. Every one of these artifacts defies mainstream timelines, geographical knowledge, and even known technology. Some propose ancient civilizations with advanced scientific understanding, while others seem to point to earlier than believed transcontinental contact. From cryptic tablets to unexplainable machinery, the discoveries you are about to see pose one queasy question. What if history, as we believe we know it, is wrong? Let's dive into the 15 ancient artifacts unearthed in 2025 that shouldn't exist but do. Number 1. The Samrian lithium battery. Early in February of 2025, an Iraqi-German team of archaeologists unearthed what appeared to be a small, closed clay jug with asphalt on the inside of a ruined Sumerian temple near Eridu, one of the oldest cities in the world. At first, the object seemed to be similar to the well-documented Baghdad battery, a 2,000-year-old relic that most people regard as an early galvanic cell. But after X-ray diffraction analysis and atomic mass spectrometry, the contents of the jar revealed something amazing. Inside the case was a deteriorated anode and cathode assembly, residue from lithium salts, and a coil of copper, all of which were coated in a potting clay structure. Once reassembled and tested in controlled environments, the device yielded measurable voltage, the equivalent of a 1.2 V battery. But this is where it gets interesting. Carbon dating of the rock strata surrounding the artifact itself placed it at 3100 BCE, more than 5,000 years ago, 1,000 years older than the traditional Baghdad battery. Even weirder, lithium wasn't known to be mined and used until the 1800s. For the Sumerians to have had this element working for them suggests either a completely different idea of materials or knowledge passed on from a mysterious source. Historians are amazed. Was this an experiment done alone or a part of an ancient lost energy system? Did the Sumerian myth gods perform light? This single jar may be the oldest known evidence of electrochemical knowledge and disputes the idea that electricity was a find of the modern world. 2. The African star map disk. In March 2025, archaeologists excavating a cemetery believed to be associated with the ancient Dogon people in Mali unearthed a stone disc with intricate cosmological patterns inscribed on it. At first, the disc was thought to be ceremonial, but upon closer inspection through infrared photography and computer astral mapping software, the disc contained an exact star map of the Sirius system that included Sirius A, B, and C, which had been recently discovered using deep space telescopes. This is why this is insane. The Dogon people have been shrouded in controversy due to their mysterious knowledge of the Sirius star system, including information beyond the naked eye and not confirmed by current science until the 20th century. According to the Dogon myth, their ancestors were visited by extraterrestrial beings from Sirius who shared this knowledge. And now this disk from around 2000 BCE adds physical evidence to their claim. The inscriptions illustrate orbital paths, ratios of distances, and even rotational features of the stars, carved out with what was a diamond point tool. And the Sirius C aspect, long argued as myth, appears with the same mathematical location that only modern telescopes can verify. No European or African society of that period possessed the tools or astronomical perception to develop such a model. How did the Dogon know then? Researchers are now inquiring. Was it a case of astronomical insight ahead of its time? Or is it, as the Dogon elders have posited, evidence of interstellar contact? 3. The bronze microgeear of Xiangyang. In April 2025, workers digging subways in Xiangyang ancient China's Qin dynasty capital, discovered an unfamiliar chamber, which was found to contain rotated wooden statues and bronze fragments. Among these was a finely made bronze gear, smaller than a coin, with 32 evenly spaced teeth, axle holes drilled out, and ghostly traces of what appeared to be lubrication residue. Initially thought to be an ornament, the device was discovered by mechanical archaeologists who experimented with it using microscopic and metallurgical analysis. The alloy was consistent with 3rd century BCE bronze technology, yet the precision machining of the gear rivaled even Greece's celebrated Antikythera mechanism. According to Dr. Lu Jian, director of the China Historical Engineering Institute, the geometry of this gear is modern in every way. Its use of involute curvature and uniformity of teeth implies acquaintance with mechanical transmission centuries ahead of its time in Asia. How did a culture lacking lathes or CNC milling equipment create such an artifact? Some scholars now suggest that this gear could be from a lost Qin-era computing or astronomical instrument, perhaps destroyed after the Qin emperor burned opposing books and massacred scholars alive. If the claim is true, this artifact not only supersedes technological chronology in Chinese history, but it also suggests concurrent revolutions in technology that left no evidence. 4. The Copper Scroll of Sudan. In March 2025, archaeologists near Meroe, Sudan, unearthed a copper scroll hidden beneath a collapsed sandstone pyramid. Crafted from hammered copper alloy and buried in silt, it featured inscriptions in a strange blend of Proto-Sumerian, early Egyptian hieroglyphs, and an unknown cipher. The scroll referenced star clusters, solar alignments, and a mysterious framework of light on the northern sea, possibly describing the aurora or a mythical structure. Nearby wood fragments were dated to around 5200 BCE, well before known writing systems like cuneiform. This suggests the existence of a lost civilization with advanced knowledge, possibly capable of early exploration or even long-distance communication. 5. The Neanderthal lunar disk of Yukon. In January 2025, during a typical excavation in the permafrost thawing of northern Yukon, archaeologists discovered what initially appeared to be an ordinary mammoth bone. However, upon cleaning the artifact, they found that it was a round disc, flattened and deliberately cut with a spiral pattern of 29 depressions. The disc, about the same size as an ordinary hand mirror, was carbon dated to 48,000 years ago, placing it solidly within the Neanderthal era. Even though it has been a long-standing assumption that Neanderthals never practiced symbolic thinking, this artifact calls for otherwise. The 29 holes are not random. They exactly align with the average count of days in the span of a lunar cycle. Its creator, a probable Neanderthal, seems to have kept time, maybe for ritual, hunting, or migratory season. The precision of the design proves measured counting and observation of the night sky, exploding the old myth that Neanderthals were brutish simpletons. To its side, archaeologists found a set of polished stones, thought to be markers or counters. This led some to speculate that the disk was part of a prehistoric lunar calendar system. If so, it would be the oldest astronomical device ever discovered, and made by something other than Homo sapiens. This amazing find forces a discomfiting re-examination. Did the Neanderthals possess a system of pre-scientific astronomy? And if they did, how much do we have yet to discover? 6. The basalt map beneath Mount Ararat. In May 2025, explorers near Turkey's Mount Ararat uncovered a smooth basalt slab buried under volcanic ash. Etched with remarkable precision, it depicted a topographic map, complete with rivers, mountains, and a coastline that doesn't match any current geography. Researchers linked the map to land submerged beneath the Persian Gulf, dating it to around 12,000 to 13,000 years ago. During the Younger Dryas period, that's long before the rise of known civilizations like the Sumerians or Egyptians, markings on the slab resemble the Vinca script, and constellations like Orion and Sirius appear in alignments accurate only 12,500 years ago. This suggests advanced knowledge of both geography and astronomy. Some believe it records a lost homeland, possibly from a forgotten Ararat culture or seafaring civilization. Whatever its origin, The slab questions what we thought we knew about ancient human capability. 7. The Osiran lens of Abbidos. In 2025, archaeologists uncovered a translucent crystal disc about 3.5 inches wide, hidden behind a sandstone wall in the Temple of Seti I at Abbidos, Egypt. Unlike typical ancient glass, this disc functions like a finely crafted lens. It can magnify objects clearly and focus light with almost no distortion. Tests revealed its polish and curvature rival modern optical instruments, an astonishing feat for the Bronze Age. Found near the mysterious Osiran, and in a box marked with symbols linked to the Eye of Ra, the lens may have been used in solar rituals, stargazing, or even early medical procedures. This discovery challenges long-held beliefs about ancient Egyptian technology and suggests they possess sophisticated knowledge of optics far earlier than previously thought. 8. Meteoritic iron jewelry from Vienna, Spain. When researchers restudied the treasure of Vienna, a breathtaking Bronze Age hoard discovered in Spain in 1963, they noticed something they had not previously observed. Two of the items, a beautifully made bracelet and a highly polished decoration hemisphere, were not made of any terrestrial metal. Advanced spectrometry and metallurgical analysis in 2025 revealed the unmistakable sign of meteoritic iron, the form of iron alloy to be found only in crashed meteorites. Dating from around 1400 to 1200 BCE, this jewelry is centuries before the local smelting, so the people of the time were working with metal fallen from heaven. It's not just a technical achievement, it's magical. Meteoritic iron tended to be revered by ancient societies as having divine origins. To shape it into ceremonial jewelry indicates respect, wealth, and intercultural sophistication. These objects were not forged for utility. They were marks of cosmic power, transferred or passed on among elites during the early Mediterranean and Atlantic Europe. Their findings force researchers to question pre-Iberian Bronze Age societies, cosmological beliefs, and metallurgical expertise. 9. Viking boat burial of an elite woman and her dog, Norway. On the windswept landscape of Senja Island, archaeologists unearthed a lovely 10th century CE Viking boat grave. But this time, not that of a warlord, but one of a high-status woman ritually laid to rest. Her bones rested in a wooden vessel, accompanied by funeral gifts such as silver thread brooches, a selection of weaving equipment, beads, and most interestingly, a small dog curled up at her feet. This was not a casual pet companion. It was a willfully placed soul guide, maybe to protect her or lead her into the afterlife. Her grave gifts tell us a lot. She oversaw a house or religious life, perhaps a vulva, a Norse prophetess. The ship, symbolic and useful, meant a spiritual passage. This finding upends the patriarchal narrative of Viking history and confirms that women had ceremonial, economic, and mystical power. It also reveals a deeply emotional side to Viking life, the unconquerable relationship between humans and animals, even after death. 10. Ice-preserved tools and clothing from melting glaciers, Norway. The Secrets of the Ice Project, based in Norway, has become a time machine. While climate warming accelerates glacial melting, archaeologists are racing to collect what the ice is giving up. In 2025, they recorded over 4,500 new artifacts, most of them organic items like fur-lined boots, wool cloaks, wooden skis, and birch bark containers, trapped for millennia by the cold. Among the most jarring finds was a 2,000-year-old hunting bow, discovered together with complete arrows and reindeer bones. These were not tools in the abstract. They were photographs of everyday survival in harsh alpine environments. Some objects go back to the Iron Age and even the Neolithic, fundamentally changing our understanding of early Scandinavian mobility and adaptation. The project makes a picture of early humans traveling over frozen mountain passes, not just for survival, but for seasonal trade, religious pilgrimages, and social encounters, well before there were roads or written history. 11. Iron shackles in ancient Egyptian gold mines. In Egypt's ancient eastern desert, where Goza stands, archaeologists uncovered a horrific find, a pair of iron ankle shackles peacefully lying in a corridor that was a pantry for food and tools. They are from the 3rd century BCE, The Ptolemaic era. The rusty shackles are not only proof, but a scream from the deceased. For decades, Egypt's economic prowess had been attributed to its mineral wealth, particularly gold. But the physical legacy of how that fortune was extracted has been thin until now. These shackles substantiate what historians had long suspected but were unable to verify. Forced labor, presumably enslaved persons, was used in the hot, dangerous confines of gold mining. Despite the Ptolemaic dynasty's purported reputation for Hellenistic elegance, conditions in these mines are more sinister. The shackles were found far from ceremonial space, hidden in practical, brutal spaces, a stark reminder of the extent to which wealth and suffering were closely entwined in ancient economies. 12. The tomb of a lost pharaoh at Abbidos, Egypt. The world of archaeology in Egypt was set agog in March 2025 when a tomb was found near the mountain of Anubis in Abbidos, a place holy to the cult of Osiris. Not just the architecture of this well-preserved tomb set it apart, but the fact that it belonged to one of the obscure pharaohs of the Abbidos dynasty, an enigmatic dynasty of rulers of Egypt's chaotic Second Intermediate period. In the limestone chamber were ostraca, fragments of shattered pottery used as writing tablets, inscribed with both Greek and Demotic Egyptian, referring to tax collection, shipping receipts, and border trade. This unexpected combination of administrative languages in a royal tomb spoke of an unexpectedly sophisticated system of administration during a period purportedly decadent. It's a find that challenges the story of a collapsing state. Instead, it suggests centers of local order, commerce, and cross-cultural literacy, a reminder that history is not always written with the victors. Sometimes it is buried along with the forgotten. 13. Dionysus and Hercules sarcophagus in Caesarea, Israel. Near the ruins of Caesarea along the Mediterranean coast, construction workers installing new water pipes stumbled across something incredible. A 1,700-year-old Roman coffin adorned with a drunken bash between Dionysus and Hercules, a risque and unusual image for this region. It is not just the craftsmanship that makes it so extraordinary, but the cultural paradoxes. In a country whose heritage is full of Jewish and early Christian traditions, such openly pagan imagery is unusual, especially in graveyard art. Was the dead pagan holdout a member of an underground cult? The particularity of the scene, Hercules challenging Dionysus to a contest of drinking wine, provides us with a rare view of dissident myth-making. The sarcophagus suggests a colorful, possibly clandestine syncretic blend of Greco-Roman, local Semitic, and mystical ideologies on the periphery of acceptable religious conformity during late Roman periods. 14. Germanic settlement with Roman military relics, Germany. On the fertile plains of Delbruck-Benfeld, excavations in 2025 brought to light a settlement level around 400 CE. Along with German pottery and domestic refuse, there was categorically Roman military belt plates, broken gladius blades, and even coinage bearing the Western Roman imperial motifs. It was not a Roman fort. It was a Germanic village, suggesting not conquest, but cultural intertwining. These artifacts weren't loot. They might have been gifts, trade items, or indicators of mercenary activity. As Rome fell apart, it didn't vanish. It splintered into bonds, commerce, and hybrid identities. This site is a tangible reminder of how the so-called barbarians weren't just empire bringers down. They were players in a new world unfolding, absorbing, reinterpreting, and inheriting a great deal of what was abandoned by Rome. 15. Cemetery from the Avar period at Tatabánya, Hungary. Under a rolling slope in Tatabánya, Hungary, air LiDAR scans in late 2024 registered enigmatic anomalies that led archaeologists to a huge Avar period cemetery, fully excavated by mid-2025. There were several dozen log coffin burials, with cosmic precision oriented and filled with weapons, horse harnesses, bronze decorations, and feasting vessels. The Avars, once feared horse overlords of the Carpathian Basin, have long been ghostly because few written records remain. But this graveyard sketches in rich color their sophisticated social structure and ritual observances. Men were interred with swords and stirrups, women with mirrors and clothing, and children with playthings, each symbolizing their terrestrial vocation and otherworldly aspirations. The graveyard dispels stereotypes of Avars as mounted, still, otherwise undifferentiated raiders, instead revealing them to be a highly structured, highly ritualized society, consistent with Mongolic traditions merged with Europeanizing ones. If this video piqued your interest, made you wonder about everything, smash that like button, subscribe to more bone-chilling deep dives, and let's discuss below in the comments section. Because the truth can be stranger than fiction, and the past